Welcome to the Temple of Flame. On today, Faith Black Lights, we take a look at this. And what this is from Ortega, it is the Inferno Ortega sauce, and we've got habaneros again here, and this looks like almost exactly the same ingredient panel as the blazing. There is a video up for the blazing. Check that out if you're interested. Right here in the series on the channel, and so I think they just moved habaneros a little bit higher in the mix for this. There is also an extra hot. I will be doing that one at some point down the road, but this was recommended to me from a viewer. Somebody left me a comment. I didn't know this even existed. The only thing that the grocery store nearest to me didn't even have extra hot. They went from hot to blazing. So I wasn't aware this existed, and so I went online and got it because I thought the blazing was actually a pretty nice sauce, all told. And I thought, you know, a hotter version, yeah, we definitely should do that. And this is like, I didn't even see this on Ortega's website, so I don't know if it's like a here today, gone today thing with them or what exactly is going on with this, but definitely Ortega has been a name for quite some time, and I think it definitely, depending on where you're from, might have played somewhat of a role in your journey as a chili head, if you are one and if you have one. It did for me, and rather than rehashing that story in this video, I will tell you simply to go watch that other one. But this one, let's jump in here. And it looks nice. It looks just like doesn't smell much different than the other one. Very thick. Very nice and sludgy. Definitely there's corn syrup used in this. You can kind of, when you see liquids have that sort of, they just have a distinct look to them when they have corn syrup. Both of them definitely sort of qualify for that here. But yeah, I mean, the color looks the same, the sort of same red-orange that the other one appeared as. I'm really interested to see how much hotter this is, because at a certain level, with sometimes when you step on the heat a lot, if you do it in a non-graceful manner, you can get some unintended side effects, and I'll be interested to see if this one encounters any of those, but we're only going to find out one way, so let's get on into it. So this one has the full 6 peppers on the label, and I kind of wondered if there was a hotter one in that other video, simply because it didn't go all the way to the pepper thing. You can kind of see it right here. But this one has more punch. This one, I would say, is a legit one. The flavor is a little odd to me, though. It is definitely moving away from what we would consider like this sort of bottle taco sauce. It's got some very slight bitterish aspects to it. It's at this point, I like the blazing better, flavor-wise, but this one is definitely, like, notably hotter. So, I got one of these. This El Paso taco kit. Soft and hard. And here are the hard shells. And here is the soft shells. There is also, what comes in this also is a dry mix for making the taco meat, which I did actually make. So I'll grab that here in a second. And then it also had their own taco sauce, but it was a mild. And we obviously have our own sauce to the party here, so we don't need that. Okay, let me do this. I want to heat these up a little bit here. So I'm gonna go and heat these up, and then we'll, if I can open this. Is this like a Ziploc thing? I don't think so. All right, so let's take a look here at these. They're tortillas. I mean, they're a little on the smaller side, but definitely flour tortillas. So I'm gonna go heat up a couple of these, and then we'll open this up and we'll assemble some fun stuff. We'll be right back. Okay, and as you can see before you, we got the tortillas here, and we've got some refries, and we've got very steamy refries. And we've got some of that taco meat I was telling you about right here. In case you're curious what the old El Paso taco meat looks like, cooked up. It's a little darker than I would say as usual, but I also, I don't like to drain, and I think I actually made it in another video. I don't necessarily like to drain it. I like to let it cook off and then get the font kind of going here, which sort of worked. This is it's a lot of dry seasoning, and it wants some moisture, so I thought, we'll just try that and see what happens. But let's give it a go here. Yeah. If you were in the Midwest, you had that flavor a million times. For taco night, Mama just whip up tacos or sometimes burritos. Get some tortillas, fold them into squares, throw some cheese on it, and then bake it. Just to make sure, gotta be thorough. After everything was cooked, I assume the baking was just to melt the cheese or to sort of fuse the tortillas into the square shape, maybe. She would just follow recipes, though. There wasn't any. That was kind of what she was trying to do. Follow the recipe. And then, if you follow the recipe to the letter, then you can judge whether the recipe's any good or not. Alright. Obviously, she had a whole pack of children to feed. And, we got here some tomatoes. And we got some cheddar, and we've got some shredded lettuce. Anyway, she had all these chillins to feed, so trying to find something new and interesting in the context of all that stuff was, I imagine that was always a bit of a challenge, especially since my dad and all of us were ourselves just a touch on the picky side. If someone wanted to say I was the worst one, I wouldn't argue. I don't know what I was, but I just wouldn't argue. Alright, so we're going to make the tacos. I gotta wait for these beans to cool down before I do the other part. Actually, maybe I don't have enough space here, do I? What can we use as a plateau? We'll use that. Anyway, we'll throw a little cheese in there. Okay. Actually, I'm going to throw some sauce in one of these too. Now I'm going to save some of the, I'm going to put the sauce a different way on the second one. We'll throw in some of these tomatoes that I cut really poorly. This one's kind of on its last leg though. So it's not totally my fault. Only mostly. Alright. And yes, if you've seen some of my other content, you know by now, we are making double-decker tacos. So this one, we're going to put the beans here and curse my extremely poor judgment here in not getting a second plate. And my continuing poor judgment in refusing to get up and go get one. Alright. I should really get one. Alright, we'll just... Maybe I'll, with whatever's left, I might just make a regular taco or two. Inevitably, these hard shell tacos, when you buy them like this, always seem to be a little bit on the stale side. Alright. And let's throw some lettuce in there. And then we got our double-decker tacos. We'll start first with the one that has the sauce on the actual taco. I'm just making a hell of a mess here. The sauce has definitely changed a lot. The habanero is it's much more forward as a flavor. Which I don't love necessarily. It is hotter though. Not what I would call an inferno. It was quite good. Not as good. The blazing I think was a little bit better. There's not. I'm on this hodgepodge altogether, I think. Well, I do have enough for at least one more taco here. Maybe I'll do that. How many tacos should I eat in one video? Oh boy, wow. Wow. Putting it on the beans was, boy. I think my soft shell is disintegrating here. I'm not mad at it. I'll definitely be finishing this bottle off. I think what they're trying to pull off, the blazing just does better. And I'm sure that's what they did. They just have a base. They're just reshuffling ingredients. But I'm glad they're doing it all. Like I would definitely rather have this product than not have this product, for sure. Let's try mixing it in the taco meat first. This definitely has a brighter, less rich flavor than the other one did. The other one, the blazing, was much closer to what we would recognize as a, for lack of a better word, I suppose, quote-unquote normal taco sauce. This one is definitely a lot brighter. But it is still good. Go with that. Put a little cheese on there. Put a tomato or two on there. And lettuce. We'll just have a regular hard shell. Yeah, I do like the heat on this one a little bit better. Great job cutting the lettuce, guys. Really good work. That's nice. If I had to pick between the two, I would definitely choose the other one, the blazing. That bottle did not last very long. I had a lot of fun playing with that sauce. But this one, I mean, there's definitely some, I guess I have enough left for one more taco. Goddamn thing is not going to stand up by itself, is it? Mix it all together and throw it all in. Tomatoes and lettuce and everything else. We're going to have a 4 taco video. 2 double deckers. And then 2 regular hard shells with this puny ass little shells here. But I like to get stuff like this every once in a while because I think, like the kit, I mean, because I think people sometimes see it and wonder about it and like, you know, what's in it? Is it worthwhile? No. But I'm not going to, I don't have a hard shell taco maker or a deep fryer to use it on. So, you know. Slim pickings, you know. This is so stale. Ugh. Throw one more little dab here on it. In a weird way, the corn syrup sugar flavor is actually a lot more forward in this. And I think that might be what's throwing me off a little bit. Because I keep feeling like there's this little off note to things. It's probably that. I mean, it's definitely good on taco meat. It's definitely good on with refrieds. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty solid overall. It's not as good as the other one, though. I mean, that from a flavor perspective, at the end of the day, I do think that's worth noting. But, like, it's completely full to the top, and that says shake well. Why am I shaking this well? It had, fine, you know what? It has all this stuff in it to suspend ingredients, right? All these thick things in there. And then it says the shake well. Especially when it's full and you have maybe a whole quarter inch between the cap and then the liquid in the bottle. Dumbasses. Shake well. Alright. I shook it well. I can't see there's an appreciable difference. But we had to find out. We had to know, and now we know. Yeah, quite nice. I do appreciate, like, it's not often stuff like this will be a legit one as far as heat. Legit one puts it in a hot sauce proper sort of arena, sort of context. And that's pretty rare. Most of the time taco sauces are not that hot. This one definitely has it's just a really nice degree of punch to it. I do appreciate what they've done here as far as heat. I like the flavor, like I said, of the other one better. But what's kind of nice about this and some of the other ones is you can kind of mix and match and just kind of get your ideal preference. I think that's kind of probably what I'll be doing. Well, maybe. I might just finish this bottle and then do the other one. I don't know. Haven't quite decided yet. But that is a good option to have. This is, like I said, is definitely a lot brighter. And there, I don't like that the sugar is as much forward in this as it now is. But, I mean, those are relatively minor quibbles. Like I said, I would get the other one again. If I saw the two on the shelf, I would get Blazing before this one. But this is probably the second best, I would say, of their lineup if you want some heat. If you're buying for flavor and stuff, you know, it'd be kind of interesting. Maybe get like a mild or hot, and then kind of throw them together. You could do that as well. You could probably stretch this quite a bit if you did it that way. But yeah, I mean, very decent, very, to me, kind of surprising amount of heat from, like I said, a mass market commercial company. They're calling themselves America's #1 taco sauce. And certainly they were quite ubiquitous when I was growing up as well. So to see them actually put something out with like an appreciable amount of heat is something I definitely applaud. And even if it missed the mark a little bit on flavor as far as I'm concerned, I still think the effort is very worthwhile. And we'll just leave it right there. So that was the Ortega Inferno taco sauce. Number 4. In peace, to serve the flame.